right, so let's get right into it. Tell me your name and tell me the name of your band.
So my name is Campbell, and the band we are discussing is Los Vampiros del Mar.
Now that is a surf band, but you're in two other bands, correct?
Three other bands. Yeah. I'm also in the Kentucky Vampires, the Waning Moon, and Caressing Misery.
All right, so this is kind of like, I don't want to overstep or anything, but if Samhain were to do a surf album, it would be similar to this. Am I anywhere near what you're going for?
I mean, I guess like
The Damned, me.
It's probably I don't know that it's exactly what I'm going for, but everything I touch always has this kind of gothic aspect, as that's, you know, who I am, who I've always been. So
Yeah.
for sure, part of those bands are definitely part of, you know, the stuff I grew up on. So
I listened to it. It's a really killer, and I bought the cassette.
Nice.
As soon as I saw it was on cassette, I'm like, ding, right there it is.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much.
So why cassette?
I guess maybe it's better to discuss like why the band exists, and then explain.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm mainly playing goth rock bands, and I always love surf rock music, and specifically the bands that I really am into are like, the Ghastly Ones and Pilgrims and that, all the horror stuff. I mean, I grew up obsessed with horror, and
a lot of us are.
Yes, and this is kind of like, I'm just gonna, so me and my wife moved to Florida like, what was it been like 7 years ago, and there's this road that's near us that you drive on, and it's like, I don't know, 11 miles of just driving next to the beach, and we always used to listen to surf, and at some point we were like, I'm just gonna make my own soundtrack for us to like drive down this road. So
that's cool.
What I wanted to do. That album that's on cassette is kind of a love letter to my wife. Actually, it's just making music that I think she would be into. So, and it's for us. And then I'm like, I should release this. So I made the complete album and I released it. And I just put it out there, like, just, it's like I said, it's for us. It wasn't anything serious. And a good friend of mine reached out from Germany, from Klopstock Records, and he's like, "Hey man, I really like the music. Can I release it? Can I put it on cassette?" And that's kind of how that's happened. I'm just like, okay. So set. And then I had one of my friends. His name's Robert Inhuman from Cincinnati, Ohio. I used to live in Louisville, Kentucky, so I was close to Cincinnati. And I had him make the logo, which is like the surf bat guy. And then a friend of mine is Sean Detra. He's a gothic DJ. He used to be in bands and stuff, but he makes these beautiful gothic artwork and stuff. So I'm like, I want to commission you for the album cover. So I did, and that's the album. And then since then I made the EP for last Halloween. Hired him again for the artwork for that. That's like a homage and kind of love letter to House on Haunted Hill, which in turn is The Haunting, which I think is the best movie of that book, where I pulled all the samples from and put it in the music. So that's kind of what happened, and the kind of story and evolution of the band, I guess. Every year I get better. I learn more recording with all the other bands I'm involved in. So I feel like that EP, you can hear a big difference in sound quality of how I recorded everything and the gear that I have. Yeah. So
what do you use?
Well, the thing I have for this band is this ratty old Fender Twin. And I've got, where is it? one of those Surfy Bear metal tank reverb spring tanks.
Yeah.
Jazzmaster on the EP, and a P bass. I also the album was on a Strat, and I think some of it also some of it was on a Les Paul, and then I got recently this Silver Falcon that I'm going to use on the next stuff. So
wow. So tell me how. I mean, that must make your wife feel pretty special, knowing that went from you listening to and now it's on because Germany put it out.
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, I feel like all of my bands, I'm making music, and she's an influence in everything. So I think she appreciates everything.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So okay, now we have the story of the album.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw your picture, I knew I was going down the right road. I saw the names of the music, and I just want to talk about horror for a little bit with you. Okay, would you mind?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. First off, classic horror. Number one film.
What period would you say is classic?
30s, 40s, 50s.
Oh man. So in that area, for me, I would have to say, first off, Bela Lugosi's Dracula. I remember as a kid seeing it, obsessed with it, got obsessed with Dracula, been obsessed with Dracula forever. Wolfman, fucking amazing movie. Can I cuss? Sorry.
Sure. The Mummy?
Yeah, The Mummy, yeah. I feel like for the Universal movies, man, the Wolfman, Frankenstein, and Dracula are like, those are the best to me. The best. I'm forgetting a bunch of classics, I guess. I'm kind of ambushed this question.
No, it's from the heart. I just want to know like, what are some of your favorites, like, you know, throughout the ages?
Yeah, I would say those. You know, as in the 70s, the Hammer horror movies, all the vampire Hammer horror movies, the werewolf ones, you know, Twins of Evil, all the Christopher Lee Dracula stuff, you know, into like Suspiria, all Dario Argento.
Suspiria was nice.
Yeah. Man, I'm forgetting like everything that I really love now that we're bringing up. You know, of course, all the Romero zombie stuff, like, you know, and Night of the Living Dead, all that, you know.
Wait, I have a question for you. When you got to now, it was cool, like in the 2000s when he started to do it again, the zombie stuff, and I was like, he got to Land of the Dead, and I was kind of like, oh, well, that was like an extremely different evolution.
Yeah, I agree.
So that kind of almost went down the road of Resident Evil, but more of a Romero style. What's on that one?
And I kind of wonder, like, on things like that, like, you know, it's for a modern audience, so maybe the studio pushed him in a certain way. I don't know. I prefer, like, you know, Day of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead, all that stuff.
Day of the Dead is fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like, you know, the Dawn of the Dead, like the 2000s-ish one, whatever year that came out.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a cool kind of return to form for him, I guess. You know, I mean, for a modern audience, obviously. It was a cool concept. Yeah.
Right. Slow zombies or fast zombies?
Ooh. I prefer slow zombies because I think that's like classic, you know. But for the fear factor, the faster ones obviously are scarier, you know. So
it's like 28 Days Later was like, when I first saw that, I'm like, what is happening here? Like, it's a total shock.
That movie, to me, I mean, obviously, it's not about the zombies, right? It's about how horrible human beings are. So.
Exactly.
Which are far scarier.
How couples can kind of, you know, just...
Yeah. Yeah. So... Yeah, I mean, I like Evil Dead. Obviously, is like a huge Evil Dead 1 and 2, Army of the Dead.
Oh,
Yeah,
I my tattoo artist because he's a huge horror fan, and they sell these on Amazon.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I've seen those.
And I haven't opened it up because I want him to open it up, but apparently it has like the passage in it.
Oh, cool. The chant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't say it. You can't say it.
I don't remember it. Yeah, and I mean, like, man, Nosferatu, of course, I'm a huge Nosferatu fan. The 1979, the original one. This last one that came out, I mean, me and my wife went and saw it in the theater like 4 times.
Did you? Oh, so it was good?
We liked it. I mean, you can ask, other people, and some people hated it, but we are also like Robert Eggers fans, like the Witch, the Lighthouse, and stuff. So like we're kind of on his thing, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you think of the last voyage of Demeter?
I really liked it. I like the way it looks. I like the fact that that Dracula doesn't appear as a person, like until the very end, right? And he still kind of has this like monstrous aura to him. So I guess that's the point they were kind of going for, is that it's, I believe, the only Dracula movie where he's not like the suave, like human disguise. He's the monster that he always is in that movie.
Legacy of Kain type vampire, like Kain and Legacy of Kain.
Yeah. I mean, just like Salem's Lot, like Barlow.
Yes.
Yeah. Salem's Lot's a big one for me too. All that stuff.
Do you think that? I do, but I know a lot of traditional horror movie fans like the Insidious route in the Conjuring universe and that kind of thing. But I personally think Patrick Wilson does a really great, just like the horror that he creates.
Yeah, I feel like those movies. It took us a long time to like kind of get on the bandwagon. Because there's always like so much to watch, and it's like where did we go? And I guess I kind of wait for like some modern. There hasn't been a lot of like really cool. I mean, there is, but it's like you kind of be picky to find like really cool modern horror. And whereas it feels like it's something that they just push out to make some money, that gets kids in the theater to stare, and I will say, like, I watched the first one in the theater and thought it was great. And then 2 came out, 3 came out, 4, and I'm just like, okay, I kind of wait on those. But then we watched them and we're like, oh, these are great. But
you're talking about Insidious?
Yeah, Insidious. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But the 2 I think were really I want to say maybe the first 2 VHS movies. Like the first one, like let's just say one of the small chapters was very autobiographical. When I watched it, I was like, okay. And it freaked me out. I was up for the whole night.
Oh no, yeah. Nice.
So I'm like, all right, this one's good. Like anything that does that to me, that makes me feel something, is like totally wild.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right, so what next? Like, what can we expect from this new EP? Like we talked about horror, we talked about the cassette. Like, what is happening with the EP? Like, what advances have you said? Were you talking about?
I'm okay. So I work like more than I have my my day job, right? It's a full-time job, and I work a lot of overtime. So in addition to that, I'm constantly trying to keep up with all my projects. So I just finished cutting. I already cut the second Waning Moon album, my part of it. I already cut the third Kentucky Vampires album, and then I am wrapping up my second Caressing Misery album. I have to retrack a bunch of guitars and get them over to our singer so he can do his magic. So when I'm done with that, then Los Vampiros is next. And it's like a constant cycle of me trying to keep up with everything. But I haven't thought of a theme for it yet because I kind of just want to do like theme stuff. But I'm leaning towards Dracula theme, like Dracula's castle kind of thing, and it's just instrumental,
like organ type.
Maybe, yeah, I could maybe. I probably. But for me, maybe looking at like 2 or 3 tracks. If I feel like the bug hits me and I can get the album out, I will. Obviously, I'll use, if I'm able to use the same artist for the artwork. I think I'm going to keep doing that as long as he's interested in doing commissions. Just because I really love his artwork. So
what are your other bands like? Like, tell me about, like, I mean, since you have 3 other bands, like, tell me what genres you love making.
Well, so Kentucky Vampire started off as like a death rock project, so it was kind of like an homage to like California gothic rock, death rock, like Christian Death, to
my god, yeah.
I can't even like Bloody Dead and Sexy to I don't know, there's so many. Los Carniceros del Mar was like a huge inspiration. So that was the first album. The second album was more like a pure like kind of 90s, more modernish gothic rock sound. The Waning Moon is a pure like modern interpretation of 90s classic goth rock, like Nosferatu, Rosetta Stone stuff. And Classic Misery is like a really, really kind of more heavier gothic / like gothic metal project with a guy, my friend from Germany, who is in the band Shallow Graves, also like a gothic rock band. And so I'm basically making all gothic rock music, and I would say Carniceros is basically gothic rock in some ways as well. Yeah, so the main thing I want to do this year for Los Vampiros is I'm going to likely DIY I'm going to probably do a digipack of the album, and also like a sleeve jacket of the Haunting EP. So I'm hoping to get all that stuff out this year. T-shirts, stickers, all that crap, yeah. So I'm about to put in an order for a T-shirt, so I should have those pretty soon. But
logo of the full album.
It'll be the bat guy, the surf bat guy.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So,
well, Zach, I want to thank you so much for being on the show, and
thanks for having me.
Yeah, especially like considering that time is always
working against this.
And thank you making time for me. I hope some of the other stuff on the channel. I respect what you're doing, and when I started reading the little bio they on camp, I was like, Jesus Christ, like, and that's what it's all about, like playing for you, and I could really appreciate that. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and I know like this interview was like a kind of a mess getting organized, so I appreciate your patience with me.
Dude, like you like I send out 200 emails every season, every 10, like, so picture 10 seasons, 200 emails each season, and last season I had 30 interviews, maybe 40. So it's kind of, I'm just very people show up.
Oh yeah. I mean, so with the, with all of my projects and bands that I do, like this one kind of has the less attention, and it's my fault because I don't promote it. Like I don't push it a lot. I don't have merch. I'm not playing. So like it was interesting. Like you reached out, so I appreciate the attention. That you kind of are shining on the project because that helps a lot. So.
I mean, it's just one of those things where you go down the rabbit hole and you get lucky, and you find like I try to tell people that are into like pop music that 90% of music is made by people that will never be heard by the rest of the world.
Totally. And I mean, for me, music is like everything I care about. I mean, you should see, like, I collect physical media. Every time I'm traveling, like I travel out of like to Germany for work. I go to Mexico. My wife's from Mexico.
Yeah.
We go to, and when I'm like, I'm going to record shops. I'm going to like markets to sell music, and I'm just digging and trying to find cool
shit. You know who you might want to check out? Check out the Dread Tones from Pittsburgh.
Dread Tones? I feel like I've heard of them.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely...
They're like a spooky cemetery type vibe.
Yeah.
But they're like really, you know, super cool guys, like you know, and they deserve some recognition, you know, as do you, you know. I think you guys would have a lot of fun things to talk about.
Awesome. I'll definitely take a look.
Cool, man. All right, thanks, Zach. Take care.
Appreciate it.